Yo, what's up, y'all? You're now tuned into another episode of the Podcast with Tigmatic. Hey, listen, we here. We moving and booming. But I want y'all to keep it locked in because we be right back.
Everybody go attack me with the pop.
Y'all tune into the Pop Podcast. And guess what? There's an episode of me on
and you are tuned into the Pop Podcast.
With the Pop Podcast with my boy Tigmatic. You hear me? It's going down.
To follow the Pop Podcast with Tigmatic.
That's that number one.
That's that number one.
Our sponsor, Red Patch. Top up. We moving and moving. Let's go.
Introducing the all-new, all-natural Wrap Patch. The smoking bandage for broken, stale, cracked, torn cigars, cones, cigarettes, wraps, you name it. Here we have a stale cigar with 2 holes in it. We're going to take our brown paper wrap patches and we're going to tear it in half because a little goes a long way. You lick the shiny adhesive side of the wrap and then you apply it to the damaged area, smoothing it over as you go, like you see me doing here, to get all the air bubbles out and to make it a complete airtight seal. We're going to take our other side of our wrap patch and do the exact same thing with the other hole. These are our brown papers. And now we have a completely new fixed cigar. No need to throw it out, no wasting money. Now we have the same cigar, completely broken in half, and these are our white colored papers. As you see, the shiny adhesive side is the side that you lick. Hold your piece of your damaged smoking vessels together. Apply the wrap patch, and it doesn't even have to be perfect. These are how well and how good the wrap patches adhere. Smooth it around. You can add heat to speed up the drying process. But like we have here, a completely fixed, airtight seal cigar. Odorless, tasteless. It's a game changer, y'all. Get yours now. TheWrapPatch.com. Patent pending.
BTL. Walks on the beat, fuck you, man. 84 radio, this shit is strictly out the street.
Foolish made this fool.
After the bubble and wait till it gel up. Whip it together and drop it in water. I got a cookbook full of them recipes showing y'all niggas how to cook that yo. Drop it in Pyrex, mixed with the soda. Play at the door, tell them wait, I'm in motion. I'm really serving the fiends, but you stuck in the track, getting money, gotta do what you postin'. I'm really pushing it, you got a slow start. Boy, that's cat rap, New York, go hard. Bows in the brake light when I'm about to go far. Bells in the back of the truck with a scrap in my lap. Can't even count like I ain't been addicted to track, cause my life full of moving them pants. We get them in for the low, but the quality fine, so it's time to go fuck up the truck. She like when I'm spitting that hot shit, told her to back up. I ain't no rap nigga, too many bricks in the back of the track to be broke. If you ain't getting money, come get some. I ain't got a chop, no tote my pistol, cause I ain't going down without hitting some. So many scripts I can flip and the prices to drop it. The clientele get more than 2 of them. I got a plug and drop it and double it back, but fuck that, I can come my own work. We hit this block with them choppers and double right back on the fuck nigga, put them on a t-shirt. AR-15 and it came with a titty. Spin this little block till the car get dizzy. It'll be weird if them choppers won't with me. Fool in the studio toting that glizzy, you supposed to be mixing. After the bubble and wait till it gel up. Whip it together and drop it in water. I got a cookbook full of them recipes showing y'all niggas how to cook that yo. Drop it in Pyrex, mixed with the soda. Play at the door, tell them wait, I'm in motion. I'm really serving the fiends, but you stuck in the track, getting money, gotta do what you post. I'm really pushing it, you got a slow start. Boy, that's cat rap, New York, go hard. Bows in the brake light when I'm about to go far. Bells in the back of the truck with a scrap in my lap. Can't even count like I ain't been addicted to track, cause my life full of moving them pants. We get them in for the low, but the quality fine, so it's time to go fuck up the truck.
Get them in for the low. They go to BR, they go and they go. 100 pounds up in 40 hours. My little cousin Duke like go get more. Cocaine in the gas tank of the Monte Carlo in the 64. Microwave got a nigga paid. I was losing shape on that fucking stove. No cap. Family addicted to pay, but still you a bold. A whole lot of motion, show your devotion. Nigga gon' bless you, play with the pack. Nigga gon' stretch. I had to do what I was supposed to. I was losing hope. I roll her back with perfect nigga, but you should see a nigga cook some dope. Huncho, bitch like Griselda Blanco. Take that pack, I hang you from a bridge, big choppo. No time to get dapped, cause I got a pack in the bag. Blunt in my mouth and a strap in my lap. A bitch on the way with some clothes she stole, and my niggas got money for bows.
After the bubble and wait till it gel up. Whip it together and drop it in water. I got a cookbook full of them recipes showing y'all niggas how to cook that yo. Drop it in Pyrex, mixed with the soda. Play at the door, tell them wait, I'm in motion. I'm really serving the fiends, but you stuck in the track, getting money, gotta do what you post. I'm really pushing it, you got a slow start. Boy, that's cat rap, New York, go hard. Bows in the brake light when I'm about to go far. Bells in the back of the truck with a scrap in my lap. Can't even count like I ain't been addicted to track, cause my life full of moving them pants. We get them in for the low, but the quality fine, so it's time to go fuck up the trap. Fuck it up then. Boosted bad ass nigga. Hot shit. I ain't no rap nigga.
Yes, sir.
These niggas gotta do what they posted, man.
Long live road runner from Boosted bad ass boy. Brother holding it down for you 100. Look out and watch us from the sky. Yeah.
Yo, let me tell you this. I deep ball, I run the place, and if you want step to this, a gunshot in your face, and money, money, we are make that money, 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 we are make that money, 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 we are make that money, 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 we are make that money, 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 money.
Pull up 4 10 to the flow, ho. Don't get it, can't have it in my home. Respect has been the motto, stronger than this rap. No comfort, no blue winners. We play the game, lose cause soldier yourselves to blame. Make life make sense, new basketball. Need a full court press shot, seen fall. Stay down for my team like Kobe. Stop playing with me, devotee. Magic in every position, like Johnson, I'm cooking a vision. Stay playmaking, never had to fake it and negotiating, but for complication. Shot, guarantee 3 up. Even when it's strong, they can't be us. I ain't wanna be a queen, bitch, but you can't handle heat. It's skilled to be Miss Morale, you built to kill in the game's betrayal. You ain't believe in Jesus, but you wanna beg and plead. Now I got them on their knees, looking to the sky, rain, I don't
Money, money, we are make that money, 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 we are make that money, 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 we are make that money, 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 money. We have it that money.
Get that money. Make them act with me. Chasing clout is funny, so they hate, but that don't on me. Jesus knows my heart, so I can't get even. He knows my head's a darts. You hold 13 reasons, stalling curtain calls. Time for my new season. Waste my time and fall. Someone help me handle feelings. Try to steal my chips and I'm still intact. I made you, baby, and I can take it back. You was made a fool, I wasn't built like that. Donate the weakness, keep it stacked. You stay thinking small, so I had to grab the ball. What's in my vocabulary? You told me no hot is gone. Can't put the price on tag. We just too immune to bag. But I live in truth. I let the world look to me for proof.
Money. We are make that money. 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 Me I work hard for the money. My focus, money. Don't play with my money. My money come in a bundle. My money it come in a bundle. My money it come in a bundle.
All right, y'all. We here. We are back. We moving and booming. And my guest is here. OG, where you at, baby? It's a little loud back there. I don't know if y'all can hear it, folks, but it's a little loud on there for it. OG, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you, brother.
What's good? Listen, give yourself a formal introduction, man. I know you're DJing, you're booming right now, but give yourself a formal introduction like only you can.
Well, hello, everybody. My name is OG Wildman Teddy T. My official name is Baron Theo Enoch L. 19th, the Woolly Hair Mound Builder. As above, so below. We represent that serpent energy that bangs throughout the universe, that don't stop. We are the most high because we seek all that is. You understand me? We out here on the street, baby. See that? We out here. I had to turn the speaker down. We got a block party. And I'm at a smoke shop, but I got a block party on the street at the same time. And people are starting to come out now. So, You know what I mean? It's a little activity on a Saturday.
Yeah. I don't know. This one might not be good for the radio, OG.
Oh, yeah. These are always good for the radio.
Hey, listen. You know more than me because your experience is better than mine.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? So, tell people how long you've been in this game and what it is you actually do out here.
Man, you know, for me, life is hip-hop. My father's a preacher, and I told my father that my religion is hip-hop. You know what I'm saying? And I grew up a part of it as a B-boy. Coming up in the 70s, I was born in 1970, so it was just
I think we lost OG for a second.
Yeah, everything about the 70s just influenced me through my whole life. So just coming up, I got a record deal out of high school with a couple of brothers with Joy Boy Records in like 1988, 89. And then from there, I've been in the record business. I found out about how the business works for artists, didn't really want to stick with that. So I started doing street promotions in 93 with Scotty Brothers. My first record was Skilo, I Wish. That record went #1. I started working with Uptown after that. Father MC, So For Real, Lost Boys. Just being a part of that whole Uptown setup was crazy. Just, you know, from where they was at when I came there, you know, it was wild. And then I worked with Loud Records. Just really revolutionized street promotions, the whole guerrilla marketing promotions. We broke all these records with no radio play. Mobb Deep went gold, Wu-Tang went gold. You know, a lot of these records really took off back then. So just with the heavy street promotions, college promotions, the influence and network that we had created, you know. So from there, I kind of started doing underground radio in Miami, 94, 95, 96. Also, I moved to Atlanta, Georgia. I moved to Atlanta in like 92, 93, rock with Little John. Went to the Phoenix up there, rapping up there, rocked with a lot of people up in there, met Shaka Zulu, you know, and then came back to South Florida, still working records, and started working for Uncle Luke. Worked that, Raised the Roof, made that #1. And Uncle Luke got on the radio, 99 Jams. So I started producing 99 Jam show for him, and they bought this guy named Albie Silk. So he put me on the radio with him. I put my brother Uncle Al, R.I.P. Uncle Al, on with us, and we killed it. We were #1. Al, we left 99 Jams with the Power 96. Made Power 96 #1. While I've been on the radio, I always been breaking records. So 99 Jams, Trick Daddy, Trina, Power 96, Pretty Ricky, Pitbull, Amanda Perez, Frankie J, T-Pain, a lot of Lil Jon's first person to play Sean Paul. You know, the list goes on, man. I've been a part of so many different records. I've been on Rap City. So now, just after all my years and maybe 30 years in the game, I still into radio. I'm on this dollar radio, digital radio platform. I'm on iHeart, Apple Music, Odyssey. So I got radio shows syndicated. I'm allowing people to get on the radio shows like yourself. You're on one of my platforms.
Where y'all hear your boy Tigmatic on Dollar Radio, also on Going In Radio, which is my platform. But Tennessee, believe in me. So we booming in Florida. Y'all hearing it?
Worldwide. You know, Dollar Radio's in Greensboro, North Carolina. Shout out DJ Tech. He got gifted to be on iHeartRadio. Like all the radio stations in the country are on iHeart and Odyssey. But my show is on these apps. And my show is dirty. Like I curse, I do whatever I want, you know what I'm saying, on my show. And I'm on for 5 hours. I'm on like on Wednesday, I'm on for like 10 hours. Because I come back and do another live broadcast here at the Smoke Shop. And I'm on two other different platforms. I'm on what is called the Streets FM Live Side, Streets FM, and I'm on WJBT Blaze FM. These are other digital radio platforms, you know, which is on apps. You know what I mean? So like the app game is digital game is different from online. Fiber optics is different. You know, it's more personable. And you know, so we on that, but as well as I still develop artists, develop people, places, and things. You know what I mean? I'm all over the place.
Hey man, that's dope within itself, man. So, you know, like you said, you've developed artists. You've also developed artists like Craig Mack, Biggie Smalls.
Well, yeah, I did the Big Mac tour.
Right.
Because I had broke a lot of artists from 92 to 93 New York. We had the underground stations out here in South Florida, and I was on like 3 of them at one time. So we broke a lot of the New York rappers. 93, Tribe Called Quest, Boot Camp Click, Mobb Deep, Exhibit, Alcoholics. It's a lot, you know what I mean? We had the underground out here, and people could come out here and do shows. We had How Can I Be Down with Peter Thomas. You know, we had the whole college market, the whole Southeast. You know, I come from this brother named Jim Sears, Paul Lewis, Uncle Luke. You know, the Chitlin circuit. Understanding, you know, Florida, Georgia, Carolina, Alabama is very important. You know, the Chitlin circuit is a lot of money you can make. So they wanted to kind of downplay it, you know what I mean? But I've been rocking the Chitlin circuit since the 90s, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I still got the same, you know, elements of being able to do the same thing, working mix show. I do mix show, radio, you know what I mean? Get people started, get them on track, you know, in the music business. I do more consulting now because I've got so many success stories, working with T-Pain, working with Pretty Ricky, being able to keep, you know, help develop people from scratch. A Pitbull, you know what I'm saying? We developed these superstars from scratch, created something for nothing, you know, using straight alchemy, you know what I mean? So that's the why, you know, it's a lot of things. And I don't really trip about people knowing, you know, because the artists know, you know what I mean? Like DJ Khaled came to Miami, he came to Mix 96. I let him DJ on my show, and I bought his first beat. I put him in his first video, and I put him on 99 Jams with us with the Luke Show. You know what I'm saying? He know that. You know what I'm saying? Won't gotta tell everybody. It ain't about everybody knowing. You know, I did a lot for a lot of people out here. You know, just being a part of hip hop. You know what I mean? Being an instrument of hip hop. You know?
Right. So you one of the OGs in the game, and you've been here for a minute. Looking back, what was the turning point that made you realize you could really make a career out of this?
I mean, really, technically, kind of when I was in high school. When I was in high school, we got a record deal out of high school. I was able to get all the artists, and we were skipping class to do battles. You know what I'm saying? And then I turned all the artists that was doing battles. We went and talked to their parents and told them that they can get demos. Because I had a brother named Vince that had a studio. His family bought him a studio. You know what I'm saying? So he had the studio. He was making the beats. So I was getting all the rappers, and I found a pressing plant. Like my uncle Frank Wizard-Costa, he made the record with BBS and P. I need you, sha na 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 na. So back in 86, 85, 86, he took me to pressing plants down in Miami on Audio Vision, Henry Stone, who bring you Betty Wright, KC and the Sunshine Band, you know, that whole element. And I started understanding the business from that level. Then I met another brother named Jim Sears, who used to work with James Brown. My brother Chris Pringle, God bless his soul. He had got a deal with Nasty, with what's his name? I like big butts in Canada. What's his name?
Sir Mix-a-Lot.
Sir Mix-a-Lot, Nasty Mix. And then we ended up getting a deal with Nasty Mix. We could have got a deal with Nasty Mix. You know what I'm saying? We went on tour. I went on the Big Butts tour right after Sir Mix-a-Lot was on Arsenio Hall in 1992. Announced he was going on the Big Bucks tour. They management called us, and I was with this kid named Mad Money Mert. Record was Eminem, like Eminem. His name was Mad Money Mert. You know, we had Eminem the name first before the artist, real Eminem had it. You know, this is like 90, 80, this is 90, 91. You know what I'm saying? And we had to deal with Joy Boy. It just kind of kicked off from there. And I started just paying attention to the business more. Radio, we was charting at a station one time, and the headliner, the artist Disco Rick, they wouldn't let him come to the station because he was controversial like Uncle Luke. Big ups to my brother Disco Rick, Grammy Award winning Disco Rick. He was controversial, you know what I mean? They wouldn't even let him come in the station, but our song was like number 4 on the playlist. And the program director came in and he started explaining. It's like every time I was in a business situation with the music, somebody would come and explain the business to me, you know what I mean? And I ain't graduated from high school. I ain't pay attention to high school because that's European colonization. You know, I'm an indigenous person, so I ain't pay attention to nothing they was teaching us because I knew that was all lies. You know, so I started reading books at 15. They made me a Mason. I've been a 3rd degree Mason since I was 15 years old. But I never went past 3rd degree because there's no higher degrees than that. Literally, it's only 3 degrees and more science which Masonry come from. You know what I mean? So I've been building with the science the whole time with hip hop as I've been going through doing this shit. I'm always building with
keep it clean, OG.
You know what I mean? I'm sorry, it's my fault. You know what I'm saying? I've always been building with the science to, like, you know what I mean, keep it going. So it's like that's kind of like the parallels. I'm a Libra, so that's the balance. You know what I mean? You gotta know the scale.
Absolutely. So, looking back, right? What was the turning point or a secret to staying relevant in the industry?
Man, I tell people it's funny. Like, I never had to work hard for anything that I ever did. You know, from getting a record deal to start to doing street promotions to everything I've ever did. It's kind of like being in the right place at the right time. You know what I mean? When I got on radio, you know, my mom used to always say, you got to get a job. You got to get a job. And when I got on the radio and then I went #1 on the radio, like I didn't graduate from high school. They hired me on the radio station, Power 96, without no diploma, no college degree. And my show took the radio station #1. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I got a contract. So for me, that was just accomplishment for my mother, because I ain't graduate from high school. I ain't have no real accomplishments to be able to say this is a good dude. You know what I mean? So that was like, I did that. You know what I mean? Through all of her years of saying, get a job, it finally paid off by getting the record contract. I mean, getting the radio contract, you know, without having no experience, and not only getting a radio contract, but having the highest ratings on 99 Jams with Albie Silk, and creating the highest ratings for myself on Power 96 out here in Miami.
So you also broke artists, like you said, Trick Daddy, Trina. What was the relationship like then, and what is it like now?
I mean, like, really what's funny about me and Trick or Ted Lucas, I used to do a DJ union. I had all the DJs come together and we used to all listen to records. And I'm about to do another one. I'm starting it back this Monday called the Business of Music Mondays. I used to work with the Coalition DJs in the beginning before they went to Stankonia. So I've been a part of that, right? I've been a part of that whole process. You know what I'm saying? So what it was I was doing the DJ setup, and Trick came to the spot, and his security guard was like one of the main security guards at all the clubs where we was DJing at. And he always used to I always had black, what they call black yard weed, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that good white. So I always had to give him some yard. So he can't wait to introduce me to Trick. He's like, Trick, this is what I was telling you about, that be having that black, you know what I'm saying, and that stuff. So it's like, really, me and Trick just had a boom relationship. We never like talked records, you know what I mean? We just smoked and partied. You know what I mean? Like I worked the record store with Julian and with everybody at Luke at Slip and Slide, but me and Trick, we just had I went on shows with Trick. I did a lot of stuff with Trick, you know, and then when Trina came in, remember I was working a group called First Platoon, and we was in Tallahassee, and they let First Platoon open up when Trina was performing for the first time, because I was just always in Tallahassee. DJ Dip was like one of the best DJs in the world, and I worked for Luke Records at the time, so I always took the Luke band every Wednesday to Tallahassee, like, to be up there and just be a part of that experience. And so my brother Michael Hopkins, he always saw my grind, and he said, look, bring your group up here and come open up for us when we bring Trina up. So, and Trina, she used to always come to the radio station at 99 and bring the Conk Man and kick it. And so that relation, everything is still cool. Like when I go to Trick's restaurant, you know what I mean? Or if I see Trick somewhere, me and Trick still got a relationship. We don't smoke boonk anymore together. So it's kind of a strange relationship, but we still nod and say hello to each other. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And Trina loves me, you know, and everybody, being Pretty Ricky, me and Baby Blue, you know, we still stay connected. Baby Blue still drops some royalty payments to me. You know what I mean? Because, you know, I really really did their whole situation myself with a whole network of people, with the core DJs and everybody, TJ, Tony Neal, all of us, we really quarterbacked the whole situation through. So, what I mean? All these artists, even like coming with the core DJs, the Hitman DJs, we helped revolutionize and make all these different DJ crews popular. My first DJ crew was Pure Pain DJs with my man Wildman out of Savannah. He had Camouflage, who's Flage's the basketball player Flage from Louisiana. Her father Camouflage. I had an artist named Luke Duke, and we did a record with him called Professional that I played on the radio and I blew it up. So I got a relationship with Wildman and B Lord with Pure Pain DJs, and they flew us out to the Mix Show Power Summit. The Mix Show Power Summit was an event they did in the Bahamas and Puerto Rico. They first did it in Miami, and I was working for Luke, okay, and there was a black club on Onyx. My man Donovan started. So every time Luke used to go to Onyx, I would dress the club up so beautiful that it looked like it was Luke's club. People used to think it was Luke's club. So Donovan said, look, I want Teddy. I want to start a record label. I want Teddy over here. So we had already kind of made Raise the Roof #1, and it already kind of moved. So we was kind of like in between records. And Luke was like, he wasn't really supposed to hire me anyway. My man Jeff got hired, but Jeff said he got to bring me in. But when he saw me, Luke remembered me. I've been reporting Luke's process for a while. So he's remembered me at clubs and seeing everything. So he brought me in, you know what I mean? And I appreciate that because he didn't have to do that. He actually paid me $8 an hour at that time, which was 1995, 1996. And from there, I started working with First String now with Donovan, and I did First Platoon, and I did this artist named X-Con. We had a record called Woe Little Mama, and we got a deal with Elektra Records. We was like one of the first Southern groups to get signed to Elektra Records with Sylvia Rome. And then I got the Icons signed after that. And I helped train my brother Court Digger and a lot of those people at the time at Elektra on the Southern market because I had that on lock. I've been working it by myself for so long, but I got grandfathered in by the brothers who've been working it since the 60s. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Shout out to Sylvia Ronan. For those that don't know who this person is, she is a big name, a big deal. And she's still moving and booming out here, even at the age she is to this day. And shout out to her. My guy Anthony Johnson shakes and moves with her as well. And shout out to him over at Rock Nation, Sony, and whatnot. But yeah, so out of all the projects you worked on, which one holds the most meaning and why?
I mean, I want to say Pretty Ricky because it was homegrown. It was like it started off as their brother and Baby Blue and Spectacular just being dancers. So they was the Mavericks and their brother was Pretty Ricky. And through just evolution, Slickum came in. Their brother kind of went left, ended up going to jail. So while they was performing, I worked with the radio and power. So I always had them be able to perform at different spots and the kids loved them. They used to get chased, that pandemonium was always there. But they wasn't chasing Pretty Ricky, they were chasing Baby Blue and Spectacular.
Yeah.
So when Joe went to jail, we had did a song with Pitbull, and Pleasure just kept showing up at different spots, and I was like, if everybody was like, if we had a singer, you know what I mean? It wasn't like, one person did it. It was like they just needed a singer, and when Pleasure came in, it was like real quick they made Grind on Me, Girlfriend, a bunch of different records.
Right.
And I started playing Girlfriend first. Their father was the main setup of everything. He was like, man, I know you like Girlfriend, but really try to grind on me. So the fact that I was the #1 show in the market, and this was the Love Hour, which was the #1 time, I just started playing their record, and it totally just took over the radio station.
Right. That's dope, man. That's dope. So Pretty Ricky is the one you hold memory for the most. What's the memory you have of Big? Do you have one of Biggie? Biggie and Craig Mack.
I'm gonna tell you, Biggie. What I didn't really rock with Craig Mack. Craig Mack was different. But the first time I met Biggie was at a Super Bowl here in Miami. He was at Luke's condo, and it was really cool because he was telling the story of how he really loved Poison Clan. You know, he said like Poison Clan kind of influenced him to rap. You know what I mean, with the gangster. That was like kind of the first gangster type music he ever heard. And he said he was hustling down in Virginia, and it was funny because the girl, he was like, oh man, you know, can you ask the girl, can you give me some? She was like, no, I can't do nothing for you, you fat dude, rah, 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 you know. And then Luke came in, he was like, nah, that's Biggie Smalls, you know, I love you when you call me Big Papa. And the girl was like, oh, you want me to do it here or over there? And it was like, they went to Rolex. And they was in Rolex all weekend, 72 hours. He didn't leave. He was there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You know what I mean? And I remember Luke, they had this event at Studio 183, and somebody got shot. Like 2 people got shot. And they were shooting in the back of the VIP, snooping everybody. And I remember I DJ'd at the club before, so I remember there was a room that you could open the door and you could go through the DJ room and go to another club. So I got all the artists and everybody to that room. And when I did that, it was like everything just kind of like was cool. Then we went to Climax, and Puppy wanted these girls I had, you know what I'm saying? And it's like from back in the days, you know, I always, my man Chris Pringle was connected with Puff Russell and Puff Russell and Andre. So I always provided them with party favorites, you know what I'm saying, from back then. That was my connection in the business in 92, 93, because I work with a lot of those cats out here. So being able to just go and get stuff for people, you know, and then working for Luke, and I became, you know, excuse my language, I became Luke's head whole coordinator, as well as the national director of promotions, you know what I'm saying? You know, so like all the things that you see going on with Puff Daddy, you know, I felt so dope that the fact that we did, if you ever watched freak shows, if you ever watched all the peep shows we ever did with Luke, all these girls, we made them sign release forms before they ever did anything.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it didn't make a difference what they did. Luke even got this girl, she tried to, in South Carolina, this lady tried to say that, you know, we coerced her to do everything, but we already made her sign the release form. So we sent the release form in, so they ended up arresting her for false prison, you know, arrestment of a Luke. You know, right. So I felt good that our process, though as wild as it was, we had it to where Luke never was any type of problems like that, and we never had any type of situations, but we facilitated and provided a lot of girls for a lot of these parties. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what, you know, that's what we had. We brought that to the game. We always had girls, and that's what they did. They would go and they would dance, and, you know, after that, you know, if the money was right, whatever else would happen.
Right. So with everything going on with Puff right now, do you think he's gonna beat this case?
Yeah. I mean, when you see Jay-Z just killed the lawyer didn't even have a license that has all the different cases. So he's gone now. So they don't have no real evidence, you know, on him. You know, it's just a real smear campaign based off the situation what he did with the vodka, with the mafia. You know what I'm saying? Okay. It's a lot. Them brothers, him and Russell and Jay, like Jay already Rockefeller, so you see what that name is already. You know what I'm saying? But they're connected to all the extremes of the higher levels. You know what I mean? So
right.
Some people got to get sacrificed for a moment, but I feel like he gonna be good. You know what I mean? I don't think nothing's gonna really happen to him because they don't have no real evidence of the sex trafficking or the kids.
Right. All right. So let me ask you. What do you think the industry is doing enough to support artists' well-being and their mental health?
I mean, I tell people right now, man, it's all about doing business. You know what I mean? You got to have a company. You got to understand the production is a company. The publishing, the music business is lyrics and music. Number one, that's how you get paid in the music business. Lyrics and music. So, is the main gambit of the music business, owning the music, owning the lyrics. You know what I'm saying? So that's the key, doing business. If you understand the business, then you're gonna be successful in doing business because you don't even have to try to go for the charts. You can sell music for commercials, you can sell music for movies. You know what I mean? There's a lot of different ways that you could be developing and owning music and making money. You know what I mean? So I really feel like more people need to understand the business. Like back in the days, we had a lot of independents, you know, coming from Luke. Luke had $300 million in 1988. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, a lot of artists Russell Simmons didn't even have that much back then. You know what I mean? It's because it was because of being independent and understanding the distribution situation. You know what I mean? So, you know, we got to stop allowing the industry to dictate what's going on. We was making so much money with CDs that we was pressing up that they couldn't keep up with the taxes. So now the labels come in and they get all these digital platforms. Yeah, it take away the manufacturing costs. It happened with us through Pretty Ricky. Atlantic Records in 2005 say, oh, they're not going to press up no more physical copies. And I went bananas. I was like, what the fuck you mean?
Whoa.
Huh?
You cursing.
I'm sorry. They said no more no more digital copies. I got a torch for you. And it was like, come on, you serious? And I stopped paying attention. So 6 months later, they had me come over to the house and I see all these plaques, like 30 plaques in the house. Ringbacks, ringtones, everything. And I was like, oh, wait a minute, digital, dang, no manufacturing costs. That's you. You know what I'm saying? Because that's a big situation. Like, you know, even during that time, Tiger had a project that was $500,000 shipped, but he had a sample. So they already shipped it, but they had to recall all 500 million back. You know what I'm saying? Because of sample. You know, so that aspect of not having physical product and not paying because it costs you. So that's the thing. Like with Pretty Ricky, it costs you $3,000, $3,500 to ship 12 inches around the country to all the mix show DJs at this time. 2003, 2004, 2005. To every DJ, it costs like $3,500 to send this show out. I'm with Baby Blue. Baby Blue tell me just give me their email and I could just email them the music. I said, what are you talking about? They said, you got MP3s now. It's digital. I was like, what? So you mean now we don't have to pay for, you know, when we had the product come in and we had 412 inches, we had to break down and put in sleeves and write the addresses on, you know what I mean? It's like the physical work at a record label is what people don't understand. The physical work that we had to do to label everything to be sent out, the posters, the flyers, the CDs, the promotional product, you know, data. You know, when I went to work for Luke, he had this different sheets of names for DJs and clubs and promoters. And what was dope was when you call each person, they all gave you a story about Uncle Luke. You know what I mean? Which means he went and got the list himself. He didn't have nobody compile the list. He went and met each individual person and made the list. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So these guys got to really be into the craft of the business and understand that when you're spending money, you got to make that money back.
So it still goes back to my question. How, even though they made the money, right? What did the industry do back then to help support their mental health well-being, to keep them straight up here so they could produce the way they did?
Nothing. I mean, they didn't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? The industry
So what
doesn't
you
do
think could be done in this era?
I mean, just like, you know, number one, the community. The different artists that you can get that come out of the community, the element of being able to understand how to deal with the money, how to deal with the success, to be able to put the money back into things that's going to help build your wealth and get a nonprofit that can help build the community. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, it's a real setup. You know, I work with Flow Rider, and Flow Rider has FYFL football league. He works with 10,000 kids, and they put over 60 kids in the NFL within the last 10 years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And Flow Rider just recently bought a plaza that they broke ground at to be able to redo it. The Clover Leaf, you know, it was $10 million setup, but it's the first black-owned plaza now in Miami Gardens. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
that's the example of being able to make your money in the music business and then now diversify your portfolio through real estate and black-owned stuff. Like we could buy rapes and phantoms, but let's buy plazas and lots of land and build communities. You know what I'm saying? And now go after natural resources, because we can't build our empire off of their currency, which is fiat. We got to build it off our own tangible assets. You know what I'm saying? Our own natural resources, which number one is our intellectual property. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Yeah, so let's talk Smiley for a second. What's the connection? And let's talk about how we connected. Let's talk about that. So break it down a bit, the relationship with Smiley.
So when I was on the radio, I had this company called Street Hustle Enterprise. She makes money around the world. It's where the streets meet the industry, because at this point, I have perfected my street setups to the corporate. I done worked for Car Canai, Cross Color, Fubu, Fat Farm. I began to be able to market people, places, and things. Like Loud Records created SRC, which is a promotional company, because of how successful we was at marketing music. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So at this point, it's like Smiley's one of the artists that my brothers, the Binghams, he's related to the Binghams, which is some brothers I grew up with. We have a group called Cisco, which is like a little group, you know, we came up with in school. So they was always telling him, you know, you got to rock with Ted. Ted been doing music, you know. So finally he started coming around, and I had a bunch of artists. I had Jackie O at the time. I had Luke Duke from the Icons, this girl Marcy Malone, 80s Babies, Moet. So these guys was all popping. They was all doing things. So I told Smiley, you know, you just got to kind of develop at your rate, but the business is really where the money's at. So, you know, so you being the product manager, you being the A&R, so you booking the studio time for everybody, you making sure everybody complete the projects, you know, that's business, you know what I mean? Right. So he started doing that, scheduling the time for everybody, and eventually he moved in and created his own company, Hit Town, and you know, he's doing his thing right now. He's got his own ABA basketball team right now, so you know, I'm helping him consult to put different things together for that. So that's why I say people that rock with me, you know, you're gonna get situations if you listen. You know, my son Fat Boy Rhymer, you know, he come up with me. He's the City Girls DJ, but he was the Pretty Ricky's DJ when he was 16 years old. So he already traveled the Scream Tour. He did these things as a kid, so it's nothing for him to do it now. You know what I mean?
Right. So let's talk the podcast. What's the plan? Well, even though I know, we got to tell you, I want you to tell the people, what's the plan with Tigmatic and Teddy T with the Pot Podcast?
I mean, it's right now, everything is awareness. You know what I mean? What we're doing is new, period. We're breaking new ground, being on these digital platforms, and we're bringing, people have to really download the app and keep the app to be a part of what we're doing. You know what I mean? So you got to create genuine fans that are consistent. They know that you're coming, so they downloaded it because they want to listen to it. You know what I mean?
And they listen.
I feel you being able to bring your listeners to the format, it helps out because Dollar Radio, they're the ones that have the iHeart, the Apple Music, so like Dollar's like, I'm trying to get them on XM radio right now. You know what I mean? Because the guy with the iHeart was like, yo, you want to be on iHeart, and gave him the opportunity. And it's like every major radio station is on iHeart or Odyssey, Alexa, Roku, and this guy's on here as an independent network, and he can curse. We can do whatever we want on there, you know what I mean?
Right.
So, right now, I just really try to bring in, different programming and different audiences. It's like, I watched Saturday Night Live with Lorne Michaels, and I just thought it was cool how he put together 2 hours of live content, starting with Chevy Chase, Bill Murray, all the different people. So that's how I feel like my show is. Like, I do what I do for like 2 hours, but after that, shit, I'm bored. I don't want to keep going. You know what I'm saying? I be wondering, So I got my brother DJ Cass, recorded some DJs, DJ Ant-Man, DJ Sko. I got another podcast called Legacy Talk, another podcast called Unapologetic Voices, another podcast called Gates Garden. You know what I'm saying? I just want to give the people the opportunity, but also show programming. You know what I mean? Because the people can see we got good programming and we're building numbers. They'll come in, they'll put us on XM. Now we got to just bring in some money so we could build 20, 30,000. You know what I mean? A month, 2 months, we can get on XM and really take off.
Oh, well, we already on our way there with that then, because I got 100,000 across all platforms already. So I'm trying to get 100,000 each platform, but as far as all of them together, 100,000.
Right.
So the goal is to do it individually, so that way we can blow. And the people are listening, so that's the good thing. That's the good thing. Facebook, it's like a steady 50K. You know what I'm saying? So we moving and booming out here. So let me ask you, if you could go back and give your younger self a piece of advice, what would it be?
Save money. I never saved any money because I made so much money. I made over $1 million, but I never saved it. I don't have a 401k right now. I just still hustle every day and get money. I ain't hurting, but I ain't never had a girlfriend. I just been out here, you know what I mean? I ain't never really been connected. So I ain't never had nobody really to. My sister, my mother always, was on me, but I still wasn't letting them in the game room to be able to understand the kind of money I was making to be able to be putting it up. So, right now, understanding what I know about certainty bonds and trust and all that, now it's like I'm reliving it again. Like, to me, this is the 90s because nobody know nothing that we did. They don't understand how we got from the 90s to now. They don't know. But we know because we did it. You know what I'm saying? We did it with multiple different artists. I helped break Snooty Wild. With Yayo, I was a part of K Camp. I was a part of Young Thug, Money Man. So I've been still.
So let's talk about Young Thug. Let's talk Young Thug. What was your role in getting Young Thug out there?
Well, I was in Atlanta at this spot called TMG. It was a little spot we had in Metropolitan, and I met his manager. And we was kicking it. And I came back to Miami. I told him that, I'm pretty much the man out here in Miami. And I came out here, Derek Baker was the program director, and he asked me, what's the number one song in Atlanta right now? And I told him I'm a stoner. And he added it to 99 Jams. So when I got back up there, he was like, yo, bro, you really the man out there. They added the record. He's like, so I'm going to give you 5 shows for $3,500. So I moved to Atlanta in 2012. So the first artist I came with was Rich Homie Quan. He was already at 10 grand. And Cats was like, nah, we don't know him. Boom, he blew up. Next was K-Camp. K-Camp with Money Baby. He went to 10 grand quick. Cats was like, nah, man, nah.
Now, when you say the numbers, you're saying per show, right?
Right. They never heard of these guys out here in Florida, so they're like, we're not going to pay that money for them. You know what I mean? So now I do Snooty Wild, the same thing. They like, nah. So now with Young Thug, they like, I got Young Thug for 35. They like, we'll get him. So I got 5 people up top. So now the manager, he comes to the studio one day. He's like, man, I'm going to kill Baby. Baby done sent this dude a Lamborghini. He done spun around with the jail. So I'm like, Baby sent him a Lamborghini. What? Baby sent him a Lamborghini. So now I start researching, and I'm like, oh, Nicki Minaj got on the Stoner remix. Now Baby sent him then I come back to Miami, and they like, the Young Thug Rich Game single release party. I'm like, what? So on Monday, they called me and was like, yo, we know you're OG out here, so we respect you, but we can only give you 2 of those shows. All the rest of them, he gonna be 15. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna be honest, I never really met Young Thug. I don't think so. Maybe I did, but I don't think I really met Young Thug. I just worked to some politics and got some shows, and then luckily the money I took, I ain't have to pay back, but I had to get back the money to everybody because they couldn't do the shows no more.
All right. So it's this little thing I got called Rapid Fire, right? I'm gonna ask you 3 questions, and you give me your answer. All right?
Okay.
All right. Biggie or Tupac?
Tupac.
Studio or the stage?
Studio.
And give me your favorite collab of all time.
My favorite what?
Collaboration.
Oh man. I don't know. Man, I don't know what sticks in my mind is Rick James and Tina Marie.
Rick James and Tina Marie.
Fire and Desire, everything. That was a hell of a setup. That's how he got with her and how he just bought her out. That was just dope. You know what I mean?
All right, that's dope. All right. What advice would you give the upcoming artists trying to break in the game today?
Business, man. Do business. What makes every artist that's successful today is business. Jay-Z has Rock Nation. Puff Daddy has Bad Boy. T.I. has Grand Hustle. 50 Cent has G-Unit. Every artist that is successful has business and does business. You know what I'm saying? Rick Ross. It's all about doing business. As long as you're doing business and diversifying your portfolio, you're good. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And listen, I got a new record I want you to break. I'm going to give it to you when we get off of here, too. Produced by one of Boosie's producers.
Okay, look, Tina Marie just came on now. That was dope. Tina Marie just came on the mix, baby.
Yeah, man.
I put on the mix, and the party's still rocking. I got 2 hours worth of mixes on right now.
Yeah.
I'm not even DJing, but I got the party popping.
Yeah. Yeah, I could dig that. Listen, we definitely got to link up in person, and that's going to happen soon anyway, because Smiley and I try and throw some things together, and we definitely going to need you for that.
Yeah, like right now I got this event called Mic Check Wynwood, July 10th through the 14th. Go to miccheckwynwood.com. It's we got this place called Wynwood in Miami. It's an art district. So you're gonna come out there. We got the hotel there. We got restaurants and clubs and different things you're gonna rock with. And then we got our event. It's a television show, Mic Check Wynwood Season 3. 32 artists that compete, head up for cash and prizes. You know what I'm saying? Then in December,
you're gonna be a judge, I'm down.
Right. Then in December, I got an event called Oceans of Soul Jazz Festival. It's the first Black event to ever be on Fort Lauderdale Beach. Fort Lauderdale has been racist since 1920. They've never let no Black people do anything on the beach until now. With this event, we had to go to Daytona for Black College Spring Break reunion. We had to go to South Beach. They never. But now we 50 years old. They said, okay, y'all can come on the beach now. So we're gonna invade Fort Lauderdale Beach, Oceans of Soul Jazz Festival. Go to oceansofsoul.com. Follow the link. Become a subscriber. We got a lot coming up with that. That's December 6th through the 7th during Art Basel.
OG, tell the people where they can hear the pot and what time I'm airing. Let them know.
Dollar Radio on iHeart, Apple Music, Alexa, Roku TV, and it's at sometimes 1:30. 2 o'clock, based off of how long the show is. You know what I mean? Sometimes we got 140 shows.
Yeah,
so
sometimes I might have a 2 hour.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's a good smoke break for me. I can go get a smoke break, get some coochie. I'm cool during that time. You know what I mean?
Well, listen, being as though, your boy's on Roku TV and everything, I'm going to keep it moving like that for you so you can have plenty breaks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well,
I keep it moving and booming.
Right now, we really on this element of the indigenous natural setup. When you see all this stuff with DEI, Black, all these different federal terms ain't good for us to be defining ourselves as indigenous natural people. We have what is called self-determination and self-government. You know what I mean? So I'm part of the Empire Washington Deducted Monument, which was recognized by the United Nations as 21593 country, one of the oldest indigenous in the nation. And I've got some other brothers that's connected. I just met with a brother, Chief Red Wolf, that just got a state of Georgia proclamation for being an indigenous antiquity. That's the thing. We're not Indians as Black Indians. We're not Native Americans either. We're indigenous. We're the natural people. We're the first people of the land. And I don't really need no government, nobody to tell me that, because I know that's what I am. Y'all got to prove that I'm not. You know what I'm saying? So that's how we pretty much operate. We just demonstrate as far as being, that's what we are. And our companies, everything are owned by us. We're the indigenous people that own them, and we're the one out here working, So I work with a lot of different nations, a lot of different people, organizations, creating that alternative. We're the resistance, you know what I mean? So we create everything. Like I said, we're not building our wealth based off of their currency. We're going with our intellectual property, which is the #1 natural resource. Like the Discovery Doctrine was based off of taking the natural resources, which were the people, and then the land. You know what I'm saying? But they took the people first because of the physical and the mental things that we can create and do.
Right. Yeah, that's dope, man. It's dope that you spreading this knowledge out here, man. So listen, before we get out of here, I got one last question. And I think you already know what the question is, but I'm going to ask you that. If it's one thing life has taught you, what is that and why?
Balance. Everything is balanced. I'm a Libra. I've known that my whole life. It's like, whatever you're doing in business, you got to balance out for personal. You got to take the time for your family life, because your family life is your bloodline. That's your ancestral developed. So, your nephews, your nieces, your cousins, your family is very important. So the same way you build in the business, you got to build with your family. Everything that you do is a balance. You got to know the ledge. You know, I do a lot of things that's rambunctious and crazy, but at the same time, I know the ledge. I don't disrespect nobody. You know what I mean? I do still, I just don't shoot.
I hear that, man. Oh, gee, man, we gotta do this again. We gotta do this. We definitely gonna do it again.
Okay.
So,
yeah, man.
Shout out to one get the people before you get on.
Man, I just want to shout out to everybody, man. Stay positive. Positive energy activates constant elevation. I need everybody to make sure that they find their ancestral. You got to go back, you know. You got to know your people, man. My people go back, 14, 15, we like 6,000 years in North America. You know what I'm saying? Like, the information's out there. You just got to really don't believe what these people been telling you. It's all lies. Everything is lies. So you got to teach yourself and navigate yourself through all of this. You know what I mean?
That's the thing. Yo, man. Turn your camera off. Mute your mic, but don't hang up.
All right.
All right. Listen, folks. My guest is my guy. And as you hear, we moving and booming. Roku TV, Apple, Odyssey, thisishiphop.com, the podcast on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Dollar Radio, Going In Radio. Shout out to Smiley. Shout out to Fabian James. Listen, we out here, and I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I hope you enjoyed your Saturday. I'm enjoying mine. It's nothing but chill vibes over here. I'm going to relax, sit back, and do what I need to do for the rest of the night. So I hope y'all be safe. Whatever y'all doing tonight, y'all out there partying. Don't get too drunk. Don't let nobody take advantage of you. And that's for the men and women. Be safe out here and be in love. Peace.
Everybody go tapping with the pot with Tigmatic.
Y'all tune into the Pop Podcast. And guess what? There's an episode of me on
and you are tuned into the Pot Podcast.
And with the Pop Podcast with my boy Tigmatic. You hear me? It's going down.
To follow the Pot Podcast with Tigmatic.
That's that number one.
That's that number one.